Hello, everyone. Hope things are good with you today. I wanted to talk today about minding your own business. I have notes with me, so I may frequently look over at them. Minding your own business is something we all need to do, and it's hard to do because it's everywhere. Like there's social media. Every time you step outside your house, you'd basically have to turn your phone off, turn all communication off, and never leave your house again. But that is not possible. So, things to watch for when you're not minding your own business is one, just as we discussed in the last video about setting up your own boundaries, when you're not minding your own business, you're also crossing other people's boundaries, whether you think so or not. It could be that you're asking them how much they paid for their vehicle, or perhaps, you're wanting to know about your coworker's date that happened a week ago, and, you don't even care about that coworker. So we kind of put our nose in other people's business. The thing that doesn't work well with that is that we have enough stuff going on in our own cluttered minds without adding other people's stuff to our cluttered minds. I think it's really important that when you wake up every day, you remember that you always have a lot of stuff going on. So don't take on other people's stuff. Now, sometimes you don't even try, and you will have somebody approach you with what I like to call, and most of us like to call, gossip, which again is another way of not minding your own business. And oftentimes, not minding your own business and gossip lead to judgment. And this doesn't leave us feeling very good. It's not a positive spin on anything. So the next time you decide that you're going to ask somebody questions that are really none of your business, just ask yourself, does this affect my life personally? Is this something that's going to change the trajectory of where I'm going? And if it's not, then stay out of it. Okay, so I will tell you though, I am practicing this myself. I am way better at it than I used to be, but I am still a work in progress. It is very difficult with everything around us. Let's see, there's social media. You could walk out the door, you could be in the grocery store, and everybody else's business is out there everywhere. So when somebody approaches you with somebody else's business that isn't even theirs, the best thing to do is just look them dead in the eye and say, mind your own business. And I assure you, you may not get the most pleasant reaction. However, that's the person that probably won't approach you again with any sort of gossip or judgment. And also, again, like we discussed in the last video about boundaries, what it'll do, it'll set apart the people that are just adding all that extra clutter to your thoughts in the run of a day. You have enough stuff going on. And because it's important to love yourself first, you have to stay focused on yourself. So when you mind your own business, you're really just taking a better look at yourself. Don't let other people feed things into you or dump things into you that don't belong to you. You have enough stuff going on. And when you love yourself and when you're not crossing other people's boundaries, it just feels so much better. And at the end of the day, you don't feel like you have this immense amount of extra weight hanging off of you. And it could be really subtle things that you don't even think about, like things that we don't really think about. Perhaps you step outside and you're thinking like, hey, I wonder where my neighbor got their car from. Or you're coming out of the post office and, you look at across the street and you're wondering where that person got their outfit from, or even wondering why their shoes don't match their jacket. This is not your business. So anyway, I have had, the hardest time in all the things I've changed in my life. This has been the hardest one, and it's ongoing all the time. So I do appreciate that I have a couple people in my life that will call me out if I'm not minding my own business. Now, here's the thing. I'm on the lighter end of it. And it's really a work in progress. However, it's good to have somebody that will call you out on it. Maybe they don't call you out in a really disrespectful way and make a scene, but maybe you have that friend that can just nudge you or like, poke you in the arm when you're out somewhere and just say like, hey, that has nothing to do with you. I know it seems like it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but we spend so much of our lives focused on what other people are doing and sometimes without even realizing it, that we focus less on ourselves. And again, loving yourself first, not allowing people to cross your boundaries and enabling yourself to not cross into other people's boundaries is really important. You have your own space to deal with and your own stuff to deal with. So by all means, like, don't clutter your brain with what everyone else is doing. Um, Please leave a comment below and let me know something that you've done to change this, or if you found yourself a friend that can call you out on it or make you accountable for it. And just enjoy your day, but enjoy your day for you. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing if it's not something that affects you directly. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment or sorry, subscribe, like, and share, and have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you.